Take that. Today we get into. We don't get into. We're gonna talk about this smoke. There's distractions that are coming up in the industry right now.
Yeah.
Why is Diddy so popular right now?
Yeah.
Why? For a lawsuit from like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
He's back in the news.
Is he in the back in the news for the whole situation, like getting involved in the Biggie murder trial?
Oh, there was that.
Yeah, that's that.
There's that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then it was him dating Young Miami.
Yeah. So what's going on?
And then I think they dropped. I think they stopped dating each other.
They stopped dating each other.
They're done. They're done.
Yeah.
So now
you got allegations from Cassie.
Sexual drugs, abuse. Oh, he talked her into this life of drug abuse and sex abuse and some type of some allegations of sex trafficking.
What?
Crazy, bro.
But the thing is, I remember I was looking at Charleston White. Charleston White says, when you're as rich as Diddy, you can't help but be bad. You got too many choices to just do bad things. Like,
I hear that, man, but that's I don't know. I don't want to talk like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, yo. I was watching Myron Goldman the other day, and he was like, "I hate superheroes."
Really?
He was like, "I don't like the superheroes that are in the books."
Really?
Because most of our superheroes have villains that are rich.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
And the mindset is to keep you from being rich.
Yeah.
They make it a dirty thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Like when you become really, really rich, you become filthy rich.
Yeah, filthy rich.
You know how many filthy rich? How many people that are rich filthy? They're never filthy. If you haven't met anybody, they're never filthy.
Yeah, except for Howard Hughes. Now he started to get filthy as he get going.
Nah, you know what I'm saying. You get bored. I get that.
Yeah.
But like, really, is there no? There's no point where you say, "Hey."
Yeah.
But see, if you were like that before, money just magnifies.
Yeah, it just
gives you more opportunities to do what you really wanted to do.
That's true. Because to be honest with you, really, money is just a magnifier. If you're always arrogant, you're arrogant with money. That's the only difference. If you were just a humble person, you're probably gonna be a humble person just with money. It doesn't make any difference. It's just an added on thing to you. It's not, and it gives you more choices. Now, how you select those choices that's why people who become millionaires in the lotto, their spending habits don't change. So they're going to end up broke just like they were before.
And we're going to talk about this right here on the D Leveling Up podcast. And if you don't know, now you know. That's right, guys.
Let's go.
Like we say, man, do it. All the YouTube stuff.
Yes.
Like, comment, and subscribe. We love you guys. Make sure y'all pass it on to somebody.
Yes.
Pass this information on, okay?
69 subscriers so far.
69 subscribers. We're going up. Going up.
Yeah.
That's going to be real sounds next time, y'all.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it. We're going up.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
So, rich people's crazy habits.
Yeah.
And then the people that try and capitalize on that.
Yeah.
All right?
Bro.
I'm not saying.
Oh, my gosh. You got
I'm not saying that Cassie's just bringing this up to bring it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate for people to be in a position where they really are.
Yeah.
Held captive.
Yeah, exactly.
To certain things.
R. Kelly.
And I hate for people to be in a real situation like that.
Yeah.
And then you can't believe them because sometimes people do things to rich people that they won't do.
They won't do normally.
They won't do normally.
You see do you know this whole situation with Robert De Niro and his assistant?
No.
How they accused her of taking money from his personal accounts and actually using, like, for instance, like all his frequent flyer miles and stuff like that, and spending all money on restaurants and all that stuff. It comes to find out that she actually won a $1.5 million lawsuit against his company because, first of all, she started as an assistant, and then she eventually started growing, became like vice president of his finances in his company. And she was saying that he was asking him to do back rubs and certain other things that were, off the color and off the cuff. So his wife was accusing her of being in love with him and all type of stuff. But it seemed to find out, like, the company was trying to do some subversive stuff on the background, try to give her a bad name.
Right.
So they found out about all this stuff. So they actually awarded her that 1.5. So sometimes it's not always what you think. Not always
what you think these things is, right? Exactly. And I'm like, to me, and I know I might sound a certain type of way, but I don't care. Whatever you feel is what you feel from this, right? To me, when you got that type of money and you got that type of opportunity, leave.
Yeah, exactly. Go.
Like you saying he's just playing this side of the field, y'all. You're saying that he kept you there. Yeah. Fed you drugs. Yeah. Out of your own out of your own will. Yeah. And then he made you go to parties. He made you go down. Yeah. Like, and I feel like that's everybody's story, bro. That's America's story right now. It's like somebody made me do it. Yeah.
But it's almost like a cop out and an excuse sometimes. But when I talk to people, when they're in abusive relationships, they're like, well, why don't you get out of the relationships? Some people, you remember, depending on how their self-esteem is built up at a certain level, some people are able to break people down to the point where they can't see. I remember one thing they used to talk about Biggie. That Biggie, he was a big dude, right? Wasn't the most handsome guy, but had really good game. Was really suave with women and was controlling situation with Little Kim and his wife because he was just outsmarting them. He just had street smart. Right. And so when he was dealing with it, he would just break these women down. Like they would just literally, he would just mentally break them down like a pimp. So what happens is you got a guy who has money. He's got influence. He's got all this stuff. He's got power. You know what I'm saying? At a certain point, she probably wants to have a career. This guy could blackball her whole career. That means you don't have any money. You leave. You know what I'm saying? He gets mad, of course. He decides, you have no career. But she was already at a certain point at, you know what I'm saying, when she met him.
This isn't something that you think about when you get with somebody like this. You thought he was Mr. Nice Guy all the time. Yeah. Like you didn't think that none of this risk was gonna happen. I'm like, none of this is gonna happen. I'm gonna just be in love with Diddy forever. Yeah. Yeah. Like how? Yeah. Like what in what universe, right? Yeah. And then you got the allegations that he's a womanizer or blah blah blah, and I'm like, y'all know who this man is.
Exactly. Before you start,
like you know who he is. Yeah. And you're like, then you get in like, I didn't know it was this deep. Like
I didn't know it was this deep.
Now I'm stuck because he might blackball me. I might not have a job. I might not be able to do nothing else. And I'm like, so you stayed. Yeah. Took on more stuff than you would have if you would have left. Yeah. You take on more abuse, more harm to your body, more harm to your cells and your brain and all that good stuff. You change the lives of other people around you for you to jump out later when everybody in your family is leaning on his money. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm not saying this Cassie situation, but that's how that goes down sometimes. Yeah. And it's like when you're dealing with somebody, I'm like, man, I'm finding myself at this crossroads now. Like when you're dealing with somebody with this type of money, you're like, you gotta be careful.
You gotta be careful anyways, because you gotta see. I remember I was looking at something, and I was looking at I think it's Bilal. I forgot what his name is. He's like Will Smith's assistant. He was talking about like when you go into these areas with individuals, like there's parties you shouldn't be in.
There's parties you just shouldn't go. You know who these guys are.
Exactly, because you know what's gonna happen there. You just like pretending. This is the thing. A lot of, my martial arts teacher used to tell me, like, if you're going any place, you should always have awareness, right? It's hard for people to sneak up on you if you're always looking around. Your head's on the swivel all the time. No one's going to really get up on you. Right. It's going to be hard. They could, but it's going to be hard, right? Right. So it's almost like that in any type of social situation, anything or decision that you're making, you have to understand there's going to be an expectation. Like people are not going to give you a pass because of things that that you've been denying. Like there's red flags. People have been telling you there's red flags. Someone has a reputation for something, and then you see it down the line. You have to use conscious effort and be like, you know what? This is probably not the place. This is not who I am.
This is not who I am. You know
what I'm saying? And this person has the power to influence me because they have money. How much money? Why do I want to be around this individual? First of all, right? You know what I'm saying? Do I want to be around them because I want to be with person has money influence because I need to validate who I am? And that might be the situation with her. She probably needed to validate who she was, and he probably gave that validation.
Right, but who's coming to save us though?
That's what I'm saying.
Who's coming to save you?
Exactly.
But I get that we can use the system to sue people, and you know what I'm saying, you come up and you come up with a little couple extra dollars.
Yeah.
And you could do that here. But like when you get into the situation, you got to remind yourself, like, who's coming to save me?
That's true. Yeah.
Nobody. Somebody.
Nobody cares.
Nobody's gonna care.
Yeah.
But now that you can count on the system to sue him.
Yeah.
For something you went along with.
Yeah.
Instead of toughing it out.
Yeah.
It's like it seems disingenuous, man. It seems a little unfair sometimes.
Unfair to him? Unfair in general, because
in general, bro.
Okay.
Like you know, Puff, he's got money. Okay, cool. You suing him for whatever because he's got it.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm like, if you didn't, you wouldn't try to sue him.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it still kind of bothers me that like in America you just sue like
you can sue anywhere for anything. You don't even know if
like he might be wrong. He might be wrong.
He could be
he
dead
might
wrong.
Be right.
Yeah.
He could be dead wrong. And if he is wrong, like that's like that's
it's
like
terrible.
It's terrible. Like to take advantage of somebody at that point.
Yeah.
But which one of us on this earth is not getting taken advantage of?
That's interesting thing you should say that, because you know what? It's weird, because if it was the opposite way around, it would not be seen a certain way.
Nah.
And that's the problem right now, is that it's always going to be a man who's going to take the brunt of these things. But if a man comes around and turns it on the other side, like, well, she was abusive to me, this, that.
It's always funny how they're the lesser when it's the other way around.
Yeah. It is
like,
always weird.
I'm weak. I was weak. I couldn't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
But then when you get the money from suing him, now you're a boss.
Yeah.
Boss B.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Like, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Because you got the system to sue him.
Yeah.
And you won. Now you're gonna be this big. Watch. If she wins, she's gonna be like this. Oh, this superhero for women.
Of course.
I'm like, yo. She stayed in something.
Yeah.
It got out. Decided to sue.
Yeah. But why stay? Like, I understand. I look at it two different ways. Like, I don't know what happened personally between them.
No, me
and I don't think even people really could understand besides those two individuals. And then sometimes I realize, even in situations like this, there's gray areas. There's so many gray areas
in here. I'm like, yo, I don't want to say P Diddy. I don't want to say Puff
I don't put it, but I don't
whatever name he's going by right now.
Love. He's going by. Like love.
Love?
He's going by love. Yeah.
I'm done, bro. Love is love, huh?
Exactly.
Love is love.
Love is love, man.
Huh?
Exactly.
Love is love. When you was feeding that girl them pills like a pest dispenser. Exactly. Love was love, huh?
That's what I'm saying. But see, this is the thing. He has a reputation of doing a certain amount of things.
Yeah.
Crazy amount of stuff. But you know what? Who knows if they're all true or they're not true?
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I like. That's what I kind of like. That's what I like about the world. It's like favor favors the bold.
It does. Yeah.
So he's gonna keep pushing the limits to things that that he does. He's like, he's gonna keep doing that. Like some people that we know.
Yeah.
Right? He's gonna keep pushing it just to push it.
Just to push it.
Just like
exactly.
Why are you doing this?
Exactly.
You don't have to do all of this.
You don't have to.
But if you don't, nobody remembers you.
Exactly.
And you don't want to not be remembered.
Exactly, because then you won't be validated.
And you won't be validated.
And that's the thing. People don't understand. Some people are looking for validation in different ways. It's like he's looking for validation based on his accomplishments. Because you know how men are looking to get to a certain level. You want to get to a certain level, and then of course the needle moves. You're gonna get to that level. You're like, okay, I'm here. Now we need to go here.
That's right.
It's just how we are built. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, I was talking to D about decision making, and we have two parts of our brains that help us with decision making. There's the prefrontal cortex, which is the beginning, like in the front of our head talks. It's all of our logic that we have to deal with when it comes to making logical decisions. Then you have the insula, that's part of the back of the brain that deals with your emotions. Usually your insula has more influence over your prefrontal cortex because it is the part of you that says, I want this and I want it now. If you understand the difference of your logical part of your mindset and the part of that deals with your emotions, you can recognize you can get things done in a disciplined manner by focusing on the logical aspect of your mind, which is the prefrontal cortex, which sometimes has to negotiate with the other part of your mind, the insula, to tell your mind, hey, listen, you want this, but you can't afford this right now. So let me try to massage the insula and tell the insula, like, listen, we'll get this, we'll do this on credit instead of you just buying this cash right now because you need this money for other things.
Right.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And your insula say, okay, I'll be cool. Just make sure we get it though. Because if you don't, your insula can override your prefrontal cortex and just do it because we want to do it because based on emotions, right? So if you understand those different ways of thinking in your mind, how your mind is set up for logic and also for emotions, you won't make decisions. Usually when we make decisions out of our insula, those emotional issues, when we make decisions out of them, they're always wrong. Usually tend to be wrong majority of the time because we're making them out of our carnal mindset. Like anytime people get mad or get emotional, and if you regulate any type of crime, it goes to what? It comes to greed or it comes to emotion. So it's one of those two. You're doing it to greed or emotion.
Because always at the front of your brain.
Exactly. So is this logical to do this? And now, even nowadays, like, in California, certain laws are that there's a certain amount of money that people are not getting charged at, so they can just start. That's why people are starting stealing in different states like California and other places. You know what? If there's a law that prohibits them from charging individuals at a certain rate of crime. I think it's like 5,000. It's either 5,000 or certain or 2,000 or 5,000. I can't tell you for sure, but we'll find out another time. But there's a level. So what happened is that level has been brought to the point where people know that they can get away with it. They only have to hold them. So they can start, like, they can stay under $2,000 and just steal stuff for under $2,000 and not go to jail. They might get arrested, but then they got to release them because the law allows it that it has to be above that level for it to be considered a misdemeanor or a crime. What? So now people are just going in places and just taking and stealing stuff for no purpose and no reason.
I saw some of those, and they're like, oh, well, it's not enough to put me in jail.
Exactly. So why should I not do it? But you know what? But it seems like, to me, it seems like the legislature, whoever put those laws in place, they set it up that way. Because what's going to happen. It's human behavior. If you know, hey, you can guys. It's almost like if we had the purge. You know what I'm saying? We had the purge. People would be getting killed for real.
For real.
You had a purge for real. Your boss probably would not survive the night.
That's what the movie's about, though.
Exactly.
It's about how human nature would turn, what people would turn like that. I'm like, yo.
They would.
What were we so mad about?
Exactly. What are you so angry about?
In America, we're the top 5-8% of the world in money. I don't care what type of sorry job you have.
Yeah.
We're at the top everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
And we're still committing crimes against one another.
You know why though?
We're going crazy, bro.
Yeah, it's consumerism.
People flipping people off, running into people.
Yeah.
I know people. I ride my bike. I know people that they'll be like, man, I just want to run into that bike, that person on the bike. Like, what? Why?
Why would you want to do that?
Why would you want to do that? And it's like first, it's like Twitch.
Yeah.
Like you see people on the bike. Oh man, I don't like people on bikes.
Yeah.
Like, what? Well, what does that have to do with anything? And people are like upset.
Yeah.
Like you get upset, like, oh, this guy's going too slow.
Yeah.
You're mad, like you get to the point where you're like upset. Like you come home and talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, that's crazy, man. We're living. It's too much negative energy, man, flowing around here, man. Yeah. We got too much going on for ourselves, and that's why people stay in the state that they're in, bro. Yeah. I was listening to Myra Goldman today, and some Earl Nightingale.
Okay.
Man, that stuff, bro.
Yeah.
It's so deep. He was like, man, you're only experiencing what you want to experience.
Oh, really?
Like your perspective, whatever your perspective is, that's what you're going to experience.
True.
If you're saying you're going to have a bad day, you're going to have a bad day.
Yeah.
Because you said it already.
That's a mindset.
You're making it happen.
That is true. You're making it happen.
It's like I was saying the other day, there was this guy that sits there and closes his eyes, this little white guy, he started talking. He's like, you're only experiencing the people that you want to experience.
Wow.
Period. Yeah. Those people in your circle, you're making them happen, stay in your circle.
Because you want them to be.
Because you want them to be in your circle.
You want them to be.
Because once again, we get back to that.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to be right. You want to be right, so you got to make it.
Yeah,
you got to make.
You got to make it happen the way you perceive it to be.
These horrible people that you have in your life that you feel aren't there.
Yeah.
Aren't it?
Yeah.
You're still like. You're making them be there.
You're enabling your own self.
You're enabling your own self. You haven't cut off that part of you that needs to just go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And experience different people.
Yeah.
Because you want to keep that circle going.
Because it makes you feel comfortable. And it validates your need to be right.
It validates your need to be right.
And you know what? Your need to be right makes you feel as if that you're. It's almost like the whole situation. You know, it's so funny how you were talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was looking at a video last night, and it has to do with guitar, but it really has to do with any aspect of your life. We put a certain amount of blockades, like when you start as a guitar player, so you start as a beginner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you get to a part where you plateau. Majority of guitar players get to a point where they plateau in the middle. They're in an intermediate spot where they're just doing tricks. You're just doing tricks.
Yeah.
You're just doing stuff to make things look like it's a certain way. And you never really go to the mastery level because you haven't sat down and analyzed why you do what you do.
You got it. You got in it to do the tricks that got you in it.
Exactly.
And then now you're just doing now you're just at that stage.
Exactly.
You haven't.
You know what I'm saying?
You won't mature. You don't want to grow to the next level.
Exactly. Because to be honest with you, what happens is when you do the tricks, they just make you feel good.
They make you feel good. You have other people. You have external validation.
Exactly.
So you're like, oh man,
yeah.
If I can just keep doing these tricks, nobody wants to see anything else.
And then guess what? After a period of time, you get bored. You find another trick to do. But instead of being able to understand why this trick was created in the first place, and then now you're not doing tricks anymore. Now you're expressing. You're actually expressing who you are. Like I was looking at this guitar player I'm studying now, Robin Ford. He was like, music right now is like in this period where no one's really expressing themselves. They're just trying to make money. You know what I'm saying?
It's a circle.
It's a circle. There was a period of time where music was sophisticated. People would listen to it based on its sophistication.
Right.
Now people just listen to it because it makes them feel good.
Ooh.
Not because they want to learn about people don't want to learn about music. Like if you listen to jazz and blues, you're listening to get an understanding of something that's intellectual because there's a lot of dynamics that's going on.
Right.
You're not listening for music right now. You're listening to get away from the world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're
that's how I look at
your problems.
That's how I look at movies.
Yeah.
I would watch movies like earlier on just to watch them, right?
Yeah.
But then something flipped and was like, why is this sound here?
Yeah.
Why do the violins come in instead of horns?
Yeah.
Why do I what do you hear? What's like who's really making all those? And then I hear that there's a whole job based on the sounds to make those things happen. It's not really people hitting people or cars hitting things. There's somebody in the back room.
Yeah, hitting like wood blocks.
They're doing this Wizard of Oz thing, the Great Wizard of Oz thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Pulling switches and stuff behind the scenes to get you to hear what you want to hear.
Dropping glasses and
then it conveys the sound to you, and it's all like it's all a veil.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To get you to feel something.
Exactly.
And to convey a feeling. It's like we stopped doing that. We stopped going after that art of having people feel a certain way.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Now we know the formula to make you stay listening.
Yeah, exactly.
But we don't know the formula to make you feel happy. Or sad.
That's true.
In the same song.
Yeah.
Or convey like melancholy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's no sophistication. There's no range. It's just on or off. It's like your party, either a party song or your depression song.
Exactly.
To empathize, to sympathize with you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep singing this sad stuff.
Yeah.
And these are people that still spending money on it. They want to stay in the circle.
Exactly.
So they're gonna keep this in their library, in their brain. They're gonna keep this depressing song on replay just to stay in that circle.
And so interesting, like I've known certain individuals, even certain women who listen to like love songs or certain love songs based on their past relationship to feel that feeling again about that how they were depressed.
Takes them right back
to the situation. So you got a synapse, something that's identifying you that or connotation to that actual feeling that you had when you were with that person. So when you have certain songs, they kind of bring you back to that.
Bring you back to that, and you don't have to be. You don't have to have that person there. Exactly. You don't have to work on making them happy to stay there, or you don't have to work on being in a relationship with them. Yeah. You can listen to that music, and it keeps you in your circle. So you continue to be right. Yeah. Whether he dumps you or you dump him, you'll still be right because you'll be listening to your music that keeps you in that mood, that keeps you in that circle. Exactly. And you're not trying to break loose. Yeah. And that's that's where all of this stuff goes wrong, man. We don't try and break loose. Yeah. I'm like, yo.
You gotta break loose, man.
You gotta break loose. You know, break loose of these things, man.
You can't, I was thinking about I was telling you about the whole aspect of changing direction to get mastery. Like I had to start analyzing myself. I'm like, okay, you start something, you got to finish it.
Got to finish it.
And it has to be every single thing that you deal with, whether it's guitar or anything else. And you have a limiting belief system. We just talked about that just now. It's a limiting belief system that you are not going to go to this level. How you get out of that? You gotta get, that whole mindset has to change. You have to switch your mind. You have a limited belief. So I'll give you an example. We have limited belief systems that we have in place about ourselves and about other people. Mm-hmm. So what happens is we don't want them to go to certain places because we're comfortable with them being there. Right. And we're comfortable with us being a certain place. That's why when the person who has no limiting beliefs, it's uncomfortable to be around them. Yeah. Because now they don't fall in the place of what you believe they should be. And they're not going to allow you to let them be in place of what you think they should.
No, because they're automatically going to turn on that. You don't fit in my scheme.
Exactly.
You don't, and I'm like, you don't fit in my thought process of what's going on.
Exactly.
So I'm going to feel uncomfortable because I need to push away from in order to keep this part of my life staying the same
and feel
so I can be right.
Exactly. I could be right.
I can be right, not righteous. Right.
And the thing is, I think what it is that, even I was talking about this comparison, is that a lot of times, like one of the comparison, and I always love to relate this to music, is the reason why you can't go farther on the guitar and you're always stuck in the intermediate stage, and this is people in any type of stage, is because of the limiting beliefs, and also because you're not taking inventory. In order for you to get better on the guitar, you need to know all the notes on the guitar, which is being able to see the whole board for what it is. Right. See every note. So you can connect. God. Yeah, exactly. So you can see a God's eye view, so you can actually see where all the things are connected. A lot of times we're not looking at everything as a whole landscape in our lives. We don't see where all the connections are. We're not taking inventory. You're not going back and doing all the things for your budgeting to make sure you can go, how much money I got going in, how much money I got going out, who are the people I'm associating with, who I need to cut off, who I need to add to, who I need to get around to get the mindset.
How often this happens, how often that happens in my account. You got to take an account of this stuff, man. We've been talking about that for a lot of podcasts, bro. Yes, you gotta be able to see it because you gotta be able to see it and measure it because what can be measured can be improved.
Whoa, say it again, bro.
What can be measured can be improved upon.
Yes, you can't improve anything.
You can't improve on what.
Yeah.
Space, like you don't even know what's there.
It's self-awareness.
You can't do it.
You can't do it.
You have to check yourself. Like that's literally what check yourself before you wreck yourself means.
Exactly.
Like it literally means that. Like look at what's going on. Is my account this? Is my account that? Is my life? How's my life going with my kids, my wife, my girlfriend, my side chick? You know what I'm saying? You gotta ask yourself these questions. I don't ask myself that last.
I was so please clarify. He's not talking about.
I don't ask myself that, but you do have to actually. I know fellas with all that situation. Yeah. But with that going on, make sure you know what's going on. If you're gonna be the king of it, at least if you're gonna be a street sweeper, be the best street sweeper you can be. Yes. That's you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna tell you like my old professor. Shout out to Mel White. Mel White. I'm gonna tell you like he told a long time ago. He was in choir, Bachelor Chorale. Yeah. If you're gonna be a sinner. So his mama said, if you're gonna be a sinner, boy, be the best sinner you can be.
You may as well.
If you're gonna do it, if you're going there with gasoline draws, you're going to hell with
exactly.
You better go. You better do it up. You better enjoy yourself.
Because you got a price to pay.
You ain't got a whole lot of time to figure it out.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. So with that being said, too, is that I think people fall into that too.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I messed up once, messed up twice.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna be this good.
Exactly, bro.
The belief is key.
The limiting
keeps
belief.
us from it's the beliefs and the sometimes people giving us the really bad advice.
Yeah.
Of expect little from people, so that they don't disappoint you.
Don't disappoint you.
And people fall into that trap, but what you don't know is you just accepted.
Yeah.
You just accepted that I'm going to belittle my thoughts so that you can stay in my reality.
Wow. Because you know what? To be honest, your reality and your perception is how it's based on, like we talked about, your limiting beliefs. And you're limiting yourself based on what you're believing. So now, when you have this space, you can't be around people who are wealthy. Even though you say you want to be wealthy, you don't really believe that you could be wealthy.
That you can be. So you're not gonna manifest these people into your circle, because you don't want them there. Like, because you took on some type of advice from somebody. This is for those people who took that advice. Throw it away.
Yeah.
Throw that away. Like, even though people may hurt you, things may disappoint you, throw that type of thinking away, because it corrodes the rest of your beliefs. It keeps you from being great at what you want to be great at. You have to put that to the side and say, no, this is not the way it's supposed to be. I will expect more at all times.
Exactly.
Because what you were just saying, like, how you do one thing, is how you're gonna do everything. Exactly. So if you treat people like that are doing you wrong, and you still don't expect the best out of them, I'm like, look, expect the best. Expect greatness.
Exactly.
And greatness will be, you will put it in your universe for it to happen, little by little, even if it may happen for some people overnight.
Bro, I saw something I think that was in the Bible, and I think I sent it to you, and I sent it to Tim. It was like, kindness is going to be your portal to your actual to your next level. Kindness, because people don't realize that when you are kind, or at least you are comfortable to be around a certain amount of people, you're open to a lot more people. When you're a nasty person, or you're not, like, very, very, everybody can't deal with you. You're a diva. You're too much. What it's called. You can only have a certain amount of circle. That's only. This is your circle at a certain point. I'm meeting people who are wealthy, who are the nicest people I've ever met, and the most generous people. So when we were talking about the whole thing about people being rich and being filthy or villains and stuff, you'll find that some people who are wealthy are very sweet individuals, and very smart, and very giving, and be able to do things that you probably don't even perceive them to be, based on what your perception of what the world is given to you. So you don't even think you could be that. You know what I'm saying? So now you held yourself back, because you're like, and most of it, a lot of it, like we talked about, is that need to be right, and that need to be right is the fear, insecurities. And you got to learn how to take inventory of your insecurities. When we talk about seeing the landscape, you got to keep on taking consistent inventory of yourself. Like, we're talking about leveling up this week.
Right.
I'm always consistently taking inventory of, like, what we need to do in my business. Okay, I accomplished some things in my business, say set up some business accounts, with some banks, and getting that situation under control, setting up some other things in my mindset, like, okay, 5 years down the line, where you want to be at? You're wherever you're going to be at shouldn't be a miscellaneous situation.
It's just gonna be like I ended up here.
I ended up here.
Like,
you ended up where you are.
Can pick up. You can pick where you're gonna be.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I heard us on a podcast. I think you told us last week or this week that if you decided to do what you were supposed to do, you could be a millionaire in the next 5 years.
Exactly.
Like, if you decided that this is what you're gonna do, and you can make things happen, then you could do that. You could pick it up and make it happen.
Yeah.
And I believe that like I said earlier, the problem is we don't believe that we can make it happen. So we run around in these circles trying to prove ourselves right.
Yeah.
That everything is going wrong.
Exactly.
And we have to get out of the limiting belief that it all goes wrong.
Exactly.
I woke up this week. I think my wife was talking to me. She says, she was talking, and she was like kind of talking to herself, and she was like, "What's the best that could happen?"
Yeah.
That changed my whole week, bro.
Oh, wow.
I wake up every day.
What's the best that could happen to you?
You know what I'm saying? Because every day we wake up, you know what? Every day we wake up and go, this could go wrong.
This could go
that
wrong.
Could go wrong.
Exactly.
That could go wrong. I can see this happening.
Exactly.
They're gonna peeve me off today.
Yeah, exactly.
They're gonna make me mad.
This bill's coming for you.
This bill's coming for me.
Yeah.
And I doubt that there can't be a whole lot of people that think like this.
Yeah.
And that's why we had a discrepancy in between the rich and the poor.
Yeah.
And it's that, look, they're thinking about what good can happen to me tomorrow.
Exactly. What idea?
If they were stuck in fear, they wouldn't make no money. They'd be sitting still.
Exactly.
They're not sitting still. They're working.
Yeah.
Okay? They're like, what's the best that can happen?
Yeah.
Or at least what's good that can happen.
What's the worst that can happen if I don't do this?
Oh, you already know the worst that can happen.
Exactly. So, or I'm gonna do it anyway because what's the worst that can happen?
I don't know. I want to say that, Derek. I don't want to say that.
I'm saying.
I don't need to know.
Some people are. Oh, saying this is what I'm talking about. I'm doing advocate. So I'm thinking about like this. Like I'm gonna do this out of faith because what worse could happen? I may as well just. You could sit here. I remember someone said this before. Either it could be a no or it could be a yes, but don't let it be nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I hear that, but I'm challenging that with what's the best that can happen. Which one would you rather?
Exactly.
Which one would you rather talk about?
I'd rather have talk about. I'm talking about. This is
which one would you rather though? Would you rather?
I'm playing.
Would you rather? All right. You play the devil advocate. People saying that.
Yeah, some people saying that. I'm talking about people saying it and then still moving forward.
Oh,
other people will say well the worst can happen and don't move forward.
I'm talking
about people who like say, well, you know what? What's the worst that can happen? This could happen. Who cares? I'm going to keep going. Other people will be like, what's the worst can happen? This could happen, and I'm not moving forward. I'm talking about the people who move forward despite what they think that could happen.
Right. Yeah. And I'm like, look, even that.
Yeah.
It's like oh, okay. The step is, what's the worst that can happen? To sit still. Then what's the worst that can happen is to keep moving. But the moving, I believe, is us staying in our limited beliefs.
Yeah.
Correct. And you're just moving.
Yeah.
You're not, there's motion and then there's effect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What effect is going on? You can be moving, you can be doing a whole bunch of stuff, but if it doesn't grow anything, if it doesn't produce anything, like what were you doing? Like this is the next level of this right here, y'all. Like, that's why I brought on the what's the best that could happen, because I've done the other two. I've done the paralyzed.
Yeah.
Paralysis of analysis.
Yeah.
Right. I've done that, and I've also done the moving me out of fear.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen? Let me keep moving.
Yeah.
Because if I sit still, I don't want to be back here.
True.
But I don't want to be here or here.
Here at all.
No.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't want to be neither one of those places.
Yeah.
Right? I want to be at what's the best that could happen. And that's how we're going to do that.
Yeah,
we're going to keep rolling, man. Right here on the D&D Leveling Up Podcast. And if you don't know, now you know. That's right, guys. Peace. Deuces. Go be the best.
Be the best.
Yeah.
Yo.